Hi, it's Wendy Joy Hart here again. Thanks so much for leaving a comment back on the last video. And here we are. Here are my sneaky tips that allowed me to shrink, actually lose 3.5 of these puppies. I know, isn't that nuts? Nuts. 3.5 of these in the last 100 days without dieting, drugs, or exercise, just by changing two simple behaviors, which I'll tell you about in just a second. So it's an interesting thing because, as I mentioned, I'm an international coach and speaker. I speak all over the world. I've had the chance to help thousands of clients in the areas of success and business and busting through internal resistance states, things like when you feel what you want to procrastinate when you're going for a goal, or you just have a leaden feeling inside and you feel stuck. I'm really good at that. I've studied all kinds of models for many, many years from all over the place and pulled puzzle pieces from different places to put them together in a new way and help people become more successful. So imagine my own embarrassment that this one issue, this weight loss issue thing, body image, how we feel about our body, trying to become healthy and lithe and fit again, has always been just the biggest challenge for me. I've gone up and down and up and down, and I have a tiny little frame, little bones. I was actually a dance major in school, so I was almost a professional dancer, or actually I was for a while. So I like having a smaller body, and it's made me just nuts, frankly, to not be able to handle this. And in the last 3 years, I have tried everything. I had gained a bunch of weight. I did every kind of diet you can think of. Exercise, I did everything, and I just kept gaining weight. As a matter of fact, don't take my word for it. Take a look at this before picture. Okay, see what I mean? I'm clearly not a tiny woman yet, but boy, there's a difference from what I looked like. Now, truthfully, those pictures were taken in August of 2010. I was speaking at a friend's convention in Las Vegas, and if you're like me, when you're on the heavier side, you might not want people taking your picture. I sure didn't let people take my picture, but people snapped that video, and that's how those images came about. Then in January of this year, I was only 5 pounds less than the weight in that picture, so still quite sizable. I don't have pictures from January because, as I said, I've been really reluctant to let people take my picture. But there you are, that's what I looked like. And in this amount of time, I found new information, a new puzzle piece to add to my puzzle pieces of things that work. And that was the magic. That's what changed it. So here's the first part. Eat without distractions. Eat without distractions. What does that mean? That means when you sit down to eat, turn the TV off. Please turn music off. Don't be listening. That means not reading the paper, not having the laptop open, not looking at the iPad, not being distracted away from your food. Now, of course, the one thing that will be present when you're eating if you're not eating alone is conversation. And that's fine. I'm not asking you to be a hermit and go eat in a cave and be by yourself. It's just that eating without distractions, being present with your food, will allow several things to happen right away. You'll have more joy. You'll have more pleasure in your food. You'll begin to notice when you're full, and it will allow you to not overeat so unconsciously. But that's all well and good. You're like, well, Wendy, why did I come over here for this tip? Oh, no, here's the thing. I had actually heard about part of this information about 9 years ago. Janine Roth, who is an amazing coach and speaker in the area of weight loss, is a woman who struggled herself, and she gained and lost over 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds. Think about how many of these there are. Think about that. 1,000 pounds by the time she was in her late 20s. And then she stopped. She had enough of it. And her primary tool was to eat without distractions. So in her case, after about 2 years, she slimmed down, and she's a size 2-ish, 0, 2, teeny little woman, and she stayed there for the next 30 years. Now, I heard about this information back 8, 9 years ago, and I tried it then. I actually didn't eat without distractions, but I was trying to eat mindfully. And what happened was big feelings came up, big, out of nowhere, emotions came up, and it was hard. it was really hard to attend to. And at that time, I didn't have a way to attend to the emotions that come up. Now, you might be wondering what I'm talking about there. Well, as part of this culture, the Western world in the 21st century, we are all pretty ingrained to hide, deny, or suppress things we'd rather not be aware of. That's hide, deny, or suppress. The icky stuff we don't want to know about in life, or just unpleasant memories or things or feelings that we'd rather not pay attention to. And that doesn't make them really significant. They don't have to be this big, horrible deal in our lives. They're about the weight and substance often of like a beach ball. Imagine a beach ball, it's just air. You know what I mean? There's not much to it. But now imagine that you took that beach ball and tried to push it and hold it underwater. Well, that's what we're doing. We're walking through our lives holding many, many beach balls underwater. And most of us that overeat are using food as our primary way to keep those beach balls underwater. So I mentioned in the first video that I had 2 behaviors that I changed that really led to this shrinking fast and without deprivation and while having a lot of fun. Number 1 was to eat without distractions. And number 2 was to attend to those beach balls. Attend to them when they came up. And you know what happens? With a few simple tools, those beach balls, when they come up, they just dissolve. They're like champagne bubbles, going away. That sounds a little crazy too, but you got to trust me. I came from a really crazy background. Boy, did I suffer some ugly stuff. My story's on the net in terms of living, and I really, really, really made it my business to learn what tools would allow people to heal, what tools would allow us to be happy and go forward in the world in the way that we wished. So I'm really, really good at that. I just never thought, slow, Wendy, I had never thought to put that together with food. And when I was reintroduced to Janine's great idea in January about eating without distractions, everything changed. So I know it's more than I can communicate to you in a few minutes in this little web video, which is why I'd like to invite you to a free teleseminar that I have upcoming. It'll be happening just in a matter of days, and if you look below, all the details are there. If you like what you've heard so far, if you are inspired to try something new, I invite you to join me. Just go down below and get yourself registered, and then you could listen for an hour and hear more about this system, more of the details, more of what's possible. Because here's what I know. If you're not doing exercise or a food plan, this works. And if you are doing some exercise or some food plan, this works faster and better, which is why I just started exercising and just started a food plan in the last 10 days or so. As a matter of fact, that's another thing that I'll be sharing in my upcoming tips. Some exercise that I learned about that 3 times a week for 5 minutes can allow you to shrink your body fat by 3% or more a month. I know that sounds wild too. And it's at home. It's like at home with no special equipment. You can get what you need for very little money. So if you'd like to know about these things, please don't delay. Please don't even leave this webpage. Why procrastinate? If it's worth an hour of your time to learn tools like this, then get yourself registered below. And I mentioned, I've worked with many, many moms, actually over 2,000 moms now, and one of the coolest things I know about these tools is that when the moms learn them, the kids learn them. The kids pick up on it. You don't even have to tell them. They watch your behavior, they see that you're happier, and they adopt the principles. What would it be like if you could teach your kids really wonderful, healthy eating habits that allowed them to have more joy, more pleasure, more self-nurturing, self-confidence, and self-esteem? That's what's possible out of eating this way. I know it sounds crazy, but it's really joyful eating leading to joyful living. So if you're ready to lose, I don't know, some of these that you have on your body, just like I had those, and I'm going to lose more. Here we go. Come along with me for the ride. Get yourself started. Sign up for the free teleseminar, and I look forward to sharing all the tools with you. Thank you.